guys. What's going on today, guys? All right, so I figured this right here. Let's start talking about a couple of specific plants. I've noticed that sometimes when you look up a specific type of plant, that a lot of the plants have the same general information. Like I have seen a couple of plants that people say do this too and that too, and you do that too, and it doesn't work. And sometimes I think we prematurely start sharing information that maybe we don't quite know yet. Like we want to believe something because they seem to be, truth telling, and it seems like they have results to back. It would be kind of like me telling you to never use tap water again if you want your plants to look like this. That could be a bold-faced lie. You know what I mean? And next thing you know, people start spreading information. Don't use tap water, don't use tap water. And that may not have even been the case. Well, I was intentional about saying that, That's a lie. I use tap water. Okay. So we're going to talk about some plants or specific plants from time to time on our videos that I give you my honest and most personal opinion about it. Whether you like it or not, whether you respect what I say or not, that's going to be totally up to you. I'm just going to give my honest truth about the plant. And like I say, your environment, your humidity, water, care levels, where you got your plant from, like the genetics of the plant, all of that, guys, is something that I can't tell you and you can't tell me, because those are just factors that we just can't share because we don't know. So I may have some plants in here that do not do as well as yours do. And by no means am I saying, hey, you're wrong, I'm right. It's just me saying, hey, this is what's going on with me. If these problems are not going on with you, put them down in a comment, because I want to know that I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing and these plants just not giving me what I'm hoping for. And some of these plants, most of my plants in here do great because I'm not keeping no difficult plants. Now I do have a couple of plants that do require a little bit more care, but that's only because I'm invested in them. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and start talking about, got it, the perfect plant. All right, guys. Okay, so this was probably one of my most expensive purchases. This plant cost me $175. Not this plant specifically. That plant actually died. If you go back in some of my videos, you'll see where I did a repot of a Monstera Thai Constellation. That was the one. Nope, repot was successful. Everything was fine with that. The plant had thrips. And that was the first time. So when that plant started declining was when I knew I needed to start doing something about pests. So that was my wake up plant. And I think that's probably why I will always keep a Thai Constellation probably in my collection, because it was like a beginning of something for me. This plant right here, I have not done a repot to since I've had it. I actually bought this from a big box store, all three of them in general. I bought them from a big box store, Lowe's. They had them for $29. Did not expect to see them. I was just walking in the store, and as soon as I walked in there, I looked around the corner, I was like, I know that's not what I think it is, and I got excited, but I was like, I know I'm going crazy. Nope, I got a little bit closer, it was. They had about 9 of them in there. And I wish I would have got more than just 3, but I got 3 because I was like, okay, I should be good. Originally, I was going to give one away, but I didn't. Okay, let's get back to the plants. So a Monstera Thai Constellation. It is not a hard plant to take care of. It is a plant, though, that when pests start showing up, you need to immediately go ahead and take care of it because it do not like them at all. Their care. The care for a Monstera is pretty much the same. They like bright, indirect light, and the more light you can give them, the more they'll love you. They like their soil to be moist most of the time. Not soggy, just moist. Just when you touch it, it should feel cool, like that, not soggy. They need to be fed. They are plants that do need to be fed. So if you know that giving your plants plant food or fertilizing, if those are things that you're not really interested in doing, I would not suggest for you to do that. I would not suggest for you to get a Monstera because of that. Again, I have a difficult time with fertilizing my plants, so that's why I buy that soil now that does have fertilizer in it, so that kind of takes care of it. And then I also feed my plants on top of that with just about every watering cycle. So some of the bad habits that I have, I've kind of made up for it in different ways. So if you want to follow that type of method of my madness, however way that sounds, then you can grow one of these and they will do pretty good for you. There are a couple of different ones that I do want to get, like an albo. They have a white tiger albo, and it was another one that I wanted as well. They will get to be absolutely massive, and that's the part that I love about Monsteras. But I have been noticing that now, since my room is growing, I do need to be mindful of what kind of plants I'm bringing in, because I have plants like Big Mama back here that I'm literally gonna have to just start chopping and cutting just to make sure I have room, because now that I'm giving my plants the proper care, they're actually really thriving. So I haven't been focused on buying plants, but more so maintaining the health of them and just getting them to look to their top core. I have some really beautiful plants in here, and I'm so excited now that I'm doing this to be able to share with you. Monstera Thai Constellation. The cost of these plants now can vary. I mean, you can get them for 30, you can get them up to 50, and of course they can get up to 100 and 200. I mean, I've seen this plant in a local nursery that was about 4 times bigger than this, selling for almost $200. So people can still ask for crazy prices because of the plant. Even though I found mine for $30, it's rare that you're gonna find it. Although I will say that don't give up, because I believe the chances are, if you're intentional about finding one at a good price, you will find it. I'll put it like that. But if I'm just gonna catch it by the ear type of thing, it took me a whole year to get to finally just catch one by the ear, because I just didn't think it existed. Those unicorns just don't exist. They do exist, guys, and they most of the time are gonna fall into your big box stores. Your local nurseries aren't that naive to see a pink princess rolling in for $20 that is really beautiful. That's like maybe a galaxy pink princess. They're not going to be selling it for that price that is being suggested for, So those big box stores are where you're going to catch these type of deals. I've seen these plants in the local nurseries almost half the size, selling them for like $49. So that should pretty much tell you where things are kind of at with that. The maintenance that I give on this plant really is just wipe the leaves down 1 to 2 times a month. This plant does collect a lot of dust. I don't know if it's because the leaves are big or I didn't mean to use the word dust. It could be anything from the soil mix flying in the air, to moss, to whatever it is. But I would say these leaves probably collect a little bit more dust than my philodendrons, so I would definitely recommend you kind of wiping them down. A good mix that I use is peppermint soap and the neem oil, and I use a 12-ounce bottle. So fill your bottle up with 10 ounces of water, and then put an ounce of this and an ounce of this. So this is the thing though, guys. I would definitely recommend you, after you're done cleaning it, after you sprayed your plant off and wiping them, go ahead and throw that mix away. I know it seems like you're wasting a lot of it, but these things, they last a very long time. And I believe that I used to not throw my mix away. And I think that I made my plant sick by keeping that mix. Cause it would be in there for like 3, 4, 5 months. So I'm not going to suggest you to do that. So just be kind of mindful. If you think that's just too much and you just don't want to waste, then I would say just cut it in half. I don't cut it in half, but just cut it in half. I just want to make sure you get that good mixed in between. That's been my happy place. I don't know if you can do too much of either one, but I know what I've been doing has been working, and that's just what I'm going to suggest to you. Also, I know we talked about it before, but you want to make sure you feed this plant, because this plant, although it will do good with just water, I don't believe it's going to really grow as fast as you want it to. And I don't know about you, but I like my plants to take off and just start growing. Just seeing a room of massive plants is just my dream, you know. And if I could afford to buy all my plants really big, I think I would have at the start. But now, in the place that I'm in right now, because I have so many plants of different sizes, I think I'm enjoying just watching these plants kind of grow from small to big, you know. I'm not in a rush because I don't want to get kicked out this room with these plants, you know. I have a shelf, well, two shelves in here that I may have to eventually move out just to have room for my plants as they start to grow and spread. I am gonna, you know, chop back a lot of the plants, but even with the chop back, I just have plants that the leaves are just gonna get to be so massive. Like, we're gonna talk about one. I believe we talked about the Majestic before. That was the one the last time we went to the plant store. That was the one I brought. It was like a leaf like that big. The plant is already getting huge, and I want to actually display the whole leaf, the whole plant right here. So when you're talking about light, you want this plant to kind of get some window, probably about 8 to 12 hours of light from the window. I know 12 hours is asking too much, but I don't know how much light you get. So if you have sun up at 6 and sun down at 6, give it to it, you know. But for people like me, if you live in a typical area, my sunlight usually comes through around 7:30 in the morning, and then it's going down around 6 for right now. But I know when the summertime comes, I'll probably get close to about 12 hours, hopefully. So if you can't do that, which my plants are a little bit further away from the window in here, I use grow lights. And grow lights, I set these on for 6 hours a day. I used to have it at 8, but I kind of reduced it down to 6. I'm a little bit, you know, cross with grow lights with my Monsteras, because the first time I had grow lights over my Monsteras, I think I fried them or it was just doing too much. This time I've kind of turned the lights down a little bit, and the plant seems to be doing pretty good. So for right now, we'll see, but they seem to be very happy. And that's pretty much it on the Monstera Thai Constellation. And I'll go ahead and get our next plant up. Y'all take care.